Welcome in, welcome in. We are live on site at the Greensboro Grimsley Stadium. That is Don Callahan and John Bowman sweating as always. Hot day, boys. What's the
Yeah,
scene like? It seems like it's a lot of hot and not that many people right at the moment, but how are things?
good. It's probably more humid than anything else. But Alex just arrived with his personal camera. So he's actually probably will see him walking into right behind the table. Yep, there he goes, checking everything out. So yeah, so that's who we're here to see. But yeah, mostly media right now. Some people are starting to trickle in. They're trying to set some things up. Dealing with wind and the sun that goes in and out. But otherwise, big announcement.
Big announcement, certainly for North Carolina. North Carolina and Mac Brown looking to add a third wide receiver to the class, joining Keenan Jackson and Jordan Shipp. Alex Taylor would be a composite four-star. Don, this process it's been a long way to here, and you've done a lot of work on this one leading into this. Alex Taylor,
You're good.
and I need to remind folks, this is live television. So what can go wrong and will go wrong. But it is the noon dish special. We finally have accomplished a Saturday. But Don, what all has gone into getting to this point with Alex Taylor finally making an announcement of a commitment here shortly at 4:00? I mean, he's been recruited by the big boys. He's got a lot to choose from. How did we wind up here today in Greensboro?
So, well, I don't know how far back you want me to go, but obviously Alex from
In
a
the beginning.
freshman with his mom and dad. So Alex from a freshman made an impact immediately for Grimsley. And I think Virginia was actually one of the first schools to offer him, if not the first. And then it just slowly kind of just added some offers throughout. Playing for a team that went to the state championship his freshman year. I don't think they made it quite as far his sophomore year. They lost the state championship this past season. But as far as his recruitment is concerned, took a ton of visits, including a ton of visits to North Carolina, a ton of visits to NC State, to Clemson, visited Virginia Tech a fair amount of times, and then also took official visits, which are the big things that all took place in June. It was one of the rare recruits to actually take 5 official visits in June. In order to do that, he had to do some midweek official visits. So North Carolina, NC State, Clemson, Virginia Tech, and Penn State. That was actually his first visit to Penn State. Those 5 schools got official visits, and that brings us here today. So he's going to be choosing between those 5 schools throughout. If you've been watching this pretty closely, you have an idea that it's probably more of a 3-school race between Clemson, NC State, and North Carolina. And so we'll see which one kind of is the last man standing. And really, we're about 15 minutes away.
Yeah, and a couple things. Please make sure that tent is tied down, because I don't want to see y'all going all Alice in Wonderland or
we're not going to
Wizard of
make
Oz.
a promise. If this tent does start to blow away, we probably will drop the mics and go grab it.
That's the magic of live television.
Yeah, so we've done basically what we can to kind of keep it down, but anybody who's dealt with these tents knows how it is. You can do everything possible. If the wind is strong enough, it's going to take it. John, John, what are you thinking?
It's exciting. We got some more, looks like teammates and friends of
Can't hear John.
Joining. Take it away, Tommy.
Yeah. Wait, what?
John, I think John's camera or mic is attached to the Greensboro screen, and so he was on mute. So I could hear him through yours. But what happened to the fancy mic that you guys shared when we did this for Jordan Shipp?
Yeah. Well, I don't know if it might be I don't know. That's not good.
It is what it is.
Yeah, it is what it is. So no. Here, John. Why don't you talk a little bit?
Tommy, can you hear me now?
Yes, sir. We got you loud and clear, Mr. Bowman.
Great. This is part of the magic of the live production here. But yeah, we're set up here in Greensboro in the middle of the stadium. Don and I are on about the 30-yard line. So you can see in the top left corner of your YouTube screen, that's where the table is. And we were told that Grimsley wanted to get the 2020-2021 4A state championship banner in the background. So you'll see that if you're looking at it above Alex Taylor's, the right side of the screen of that picture. Tommy, do we want to roll the highlights? We have some highlights here for Alex Taylor. Maybe we could roll those for a few minutes.
Certainly, if you've got them at hand, you can throw them on the screen, let folks enjoy it. And folks, we will be here both during the announcement and after the announcement. If you joined us, if you're an Inside Carolina person and you joined us from the Ziegler commitment and the Shipp commitment, of course, we get together after the fact, discuss it, talk about it, maybe snag a coach or a player or two. Don Callahan getting his microphone correct. So what we've got is a highlight package that John's going to roll here, and we'll be back in time for the announcement. But stick here with Inside Carolina on the live stream all throughout the day until we're out of here. At some point this afternoon, it'll be, if you enjoy the college football recruiting scene, today's a good day to be at IC. Roll it, John. And we are back, joined by Don Callahan, John Bowman, and of course the Alex Taylor.
I'm going to try a little something. You can hear me, right?
We can hear you. And I almost felt like I needed to break out my.
But you can't hear me here, though, right?
I can hear you through the other microphone.
Can you hear this?
Get the other one away from me. Yeah.
Yes, no?
Yeah.
Did you hear that?
Yes, we heard you. Folks in the chat are the ones that need to be able to hear it. I can hear you loud and clear.
But did you hear when I just used this?
It sounded like it. Yes, sir.
Try this. Say something.
Testing.
Yep. Gotcha.
Okay. All right. So it's this mic. So just earphones and use that mic. We'll be
Okay.
good. All right. So we figured it out. Oh shit.
Hey, this is the magic. This
Live
is the magic
television.
that happens. Just nobody trip over a cord out there.
Well, just we did test everything, but then we had to completely flip where we were facing, and now we're worried that our tent, which is basically keeping our computers from overheating, might be in the way of the stands. But we did try to coordinate. But there's so many people who are making decisions on certain things, or nobody wants to make a decision. So anyway, so let's get back to. Do we have any questions in the chat?
Well, I was scrolling through them when y'all were looking. Folks, if you're in the chat, especially Preston from Greensboro, you need to be over there supporting Don and John in person. But
Yeah.
if you're in the chat, drop some questions. Like I said,
Maybe we bring Preston down here.
yeah, really. Preston, if you're in the crowd, tell them you know a guy and go see somebody. But Don, let's talk a little bit about the difference in these players. Keenan Jackson's a commitment. Jordan Shipp's a commitment. What those two guys bring to the table versus what an Alex Taylor commitment could mean for North Carolina.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Yeah.
Was that question for me?
That question was for you. What would be the difference in Alex Taylor's game versus Keenan Jackson and Jordan Shipp?
So I think Alex is more of a all-around guy as far as being able to really kind of hurt a defense in all three levels of the football field, meaning the screen game, the typical kind of like I guess 10 to 15 yards sort of thing, and then also deep. Keenan's probably a little bit more of a possession guy, and Shipp, I guess you would say, is more of a possession guy. I think he has a little bit more of yards after the catch game to him too, though, and definitely more of a spectacular catch sort of thing with Shipp. He's gonna make some catches that are gonna make you kind of say, oh my God, did that just happen, sort of thing. As his coach kind of laid out for us during our interview with him. But so obviously all three are, you would classify them, I guess, as outside guys. But I think Taylor is a guy who could easily play slot without a problem.
So Carlton in the chat asked, and I'm going to ask it a little bit different, but how many wide receivers does North Carolina seek in this cycle? Obviously, with the transfer portal is a real thing these days. You have to stock up on talent as much as possible. But when you're looking at this specific class, mentioned Jackson, mentioned Shipp, we're discussing Taylor. How many wide receiver spots are there in this North Carolina class?
So I think the goal was to take 4. And a lot of people I saw in the some of the posts recently were saying, oh, if Taylor picks North Carolina, it means UNC's not going to get Taylor. That's not the case at all. The staff basically had kind of narrowed into the guys that they would take regardless. But obviously the goal is 4, but they will go over that number if it's for the guys that they're continuing to pursue. And, Taylor falls underneath that category. So does Javaris Green. So the decision today, whether he picks North Carolina or doesn't, is not going to impact Green or Taylor, who have announcements coming up also in the next few weeks.
So when you look at
move that up.
And folks that are watching this is a real time, and it is slightly disorganized.
No, John.
But Don and John are on site. Probably what? Yeah. Roughly 100 degrees on the turf. Don, what give me a turf temperature.
The actual temperature, I don't think is all that bad, to be honest. It's just the humidity is a little much, and the breeze. While the breeze feels nice, but it's worrying John a little bit that our tent might blow away. So, but hey, John. Hey, John, Tommy, why don't you try to look for some more questions real quick?
Okay. Everybody in the chat, drop questions here. Don and I and John and I will be here after the announcement as well. So if you got any questions, let us know. We'll get to them as soon as possible. Like I said, Alex Taylor's commitment coming up here at 4 o'clock. You can see the hats on the table. They are getting ready for the for the show, and Taylor will make an announcement amongst the finalists there. I'm going to back out. You guys drop questions in the chat. We will get right to them as soon as Don and John get back. Appreciate everybody joining your IC Inside Carolina Live YouTube stream of the Alex Taylor announcement.
All right, let me chill. They gonna think I'm crazy. Oh, let me go live. Is it like on the jacket? Wait, come around. Put it on the shirt. When I take it off, it's gonna like mess up.
You might just want to hold it.
You the thing? All right, I mic up.
You want me to hold it? I'm put all this down here. Okay. I'll sit down in front of you.
Huh?
You want to sit down?
Nah, they gotta get the whole thing.
You want somebody to hold it?
Oh, poor connection. Let me just.
Yeah, I'll take a shower, girl. Okay.
It's already on.
It's like, which way am I standing?
You know?
Not yet.
Already?
Yep.
All right, we appreciate everyone being here tonight or this afternoon for Alex's commitment. Yeah, for to kind of get things started. And first of all, it's a day for him and his family. We're extremely excited for him and just all that he's done for our football program here at Grimsley. I know a lot of his teammates are here today, and he asked them to be here. And the best thing I can say about that, and his football speaks for itself, the kind of player that he is, and how he goes about playing and plays that he makes on Friday night. Everybody's seen him. But we refer to him in the office as the captain. And his teammates referred him captain as a junior. And he is on the team with a bunch of seniors. And when you get voted as a captain as a junior, it says a lot about you and kind of who you are and the kind of leader you are. And I saw Derek Jeter a few weeks ago on the interview. A guy asked him what his favorite moment was as a player. He just mentioned the championship that he won. And the guy said, "No, what's your favorite moment?" And he said the same thing over again. And that's Alex Taylor. That's one reason we kind of refer to him as our captain, because he will do whatever it takes for us. And you'll see him do a lot of different things that he has throughout the time at so today's a special day. Bring him.
I appreciate all of you for coming out here to support me today. This is a dream for me that has literally come true. God, first and foremost, for blessing me with this athletic gift, allowing me to have this amazing opportunity. I thank my parents for helping me the most to get where I am. My mom for being my rock, someone who understands me, pushing me academically, being my biggest cheerleader, making sure I never wanted anything for nothing. And my dad for always pushing me athletically, making sure I had the best training, pushing me through those days when I wasn't motivated, which helped me get where I am today. It can be a little insane in some moments, but I know it's all love. I thank my football trainer, Chris Everhart at B43, for the countless hours we spent together since quarantine to now. Teaching me invaluable technique to become a real receiver and also preaching real world knowledge on becoming a man. I thank the entire Grimsley football family for their support. The sacrifices y'all have made to not just get me, but the whole Grimsley football program to where we are now is incredible. I also want to thank y'all for giving me a chance and believing in me. I want to thank my teammates for being there through the good and bad times. We made great memories, and y'all helped me stay sane through this entire process. We built lifelong relationships, and I can't wait to get a ring with our boys this fall. Want to give a little shout out to CBA. Y'all know how we get. I think other schools who spent time and resources actively recruiting me. It was a tough decision. At the end of the day, I chose a school that best felt like home, where they've always treated me as a priority, where I feel that I can get better developed as a football player, and most importantly as a man. With that being said, for the next 3 to 4 years, I'll be attending the University of North Carolina, Chapel Hill.
Tommy.
Don Callahan.
So what are you thinking, Tommy?
I'm thinking that Mr. Taylor joins a group of Lonnie Galloway recruits that is poised to make North Carolina big time in the wide receiver room. What you think, Don?
Yeah, I mean, this is huge for a lot of reasons. I mean, obviously, as I mentioned, a dynamic player. Receivers are obviously in high demand in this day and age of college football with spread offenses, which North Carolina runs. So that's huge. But I think in-state, I know 247 doesn't have him ranked. I mean, he's in the top 10, but not as high as I personally have him ranked. I have him number 2 in the state. And so, to fend off Clemson, to fend off NC State, to fend off some overtures from Virginia Tech to Penn and Penn State is significant. And this is another win for Lonnie Galloway. You mentioned, I mean, he is, I've said this multiple times, North Carolina's ace recruiter, because he can go into these sort of recruitments and keep North Carolina alive at the very least, if not, landing guys like this. And he over and over again, this is, he did with Andre Green a couple classes ago. And this is another one where he had a big part in it.
Yeah, when you look at Lonnie Galloway's recruitment, and Lonnie Galloway is a position coach, you talk to those guys, they all love him. And I know it's hectic.
Is Jordan here? Okay. I might try to grab one of those guys. Oh,
so folks, here you see Mr. Callahan doing his work. You wonder how Don Callahan covers everything.
Well, that was the famous Steve Shipp that came up to me. So I did not see. I see them now. Jordan Shipp and Keenan Jackson are here. Both told me they were planning on going. And so yeah. So maybe we'll get them over here to talk a little bit. Grabbing Alex is going to be difficult. Maybe we do it, but if we do that, it'll probably be a little bit later. But we have some questions in here.
Yeah, we have a ton of questions in the chat. If you got a chance, let's get to them.
Okay, that sounds good. So so why don't we start rolling? Do you want to hop here? So hold on one second.
Folks, Alex Taylor joins Keenan Jackson and Jordan Shipp in North Carolina's recruiting class with Javaris Green still out there. Paler still out there, the Burlington Cummins.
So that doesn't work, remember.
Talent. If you have been watching social media, you know where Jonathan Paler is today. So North Carolina is certainly poised to make more noise in the wide receiver room here. Lonnie Galloway just basically knocking it out of the box for North Carolina in recruiting.
Do you want me? I'm going to go see if I can get his coach.
You got me, Tommy.
I've got John. Yes, we've got you, John.
Tommy, let me tell you something. This is a really exciting scene here. We probably have about maybe 500 people here to celebrate Alex Taylor's commitment to the North Carolina Tar Heels. I don't know if you can see it, but that is still a live picture in the top left of your screen. It's muted, but that's the scene of the table, and you can see all of Taylor's teammates. And I already had Keenan Jackson and Jordan Shipp. They're ready to interview Alex Taylor today. So they're ready to keep the tradition going after Keenan Jackson interviewed Shipp last weekend or 2 weekends ago.
That'll be something folks can check out certainly on InsideCarolina.com. John Bowman making things happen. John, just sort of so we can see the screen there with the table with the hats. And one thing.
Sorry, live radio moment. We got a coach joining.
All right.
We got Tommy. Sorry, we had to flip around. Hey, Tommy, how you doing?
I got you guys, Coach. Appreciate you joining us.
Oh, yeah, no problem. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. I got you loud and clear. Just
deal.
right off the bat, we talk to Don all the time about these guys and these recruits, but you've had hands-on for a long time. Just sort of speak to what Alex Taylor will bring to North Carolina.
Well, I was telling some guys down in UNC earlier and again today, he's a great player, but he's an even better person. And he's been our captain will be the last 2 years now. Voted on as a team captain as a junior on a really good football team last year with a lot of really good seniors. So it speaks volumes of the kind of kid he is and the character that he brings to the locker room, to the practice field, and those kind of things. And just a fine young man. Got great parents, but a tremendous worker, coachable. And again, like for us, his nickname's the captain. That's what we refer to him as.
Yeah, we talk a lot about leadership on college football teams, how important it is, and it's probably even more important on the high school level. Just speak to that aspect.
Yes, it's huge. I mean, nowadays in society, it's all about me, me, me. And, for you to be successful as a team, you're going to have to sacrifice. And you got guys in that locker room that's going to have to be willing to do things different than what they've ever done before. And then when you have your best player, like an Alex Taylor, who's your hardest worker every single day, and then he's willing to do whatever we ask out of him, flip over and play corner. He punts for us. He holds extra points and field goals for us, and just willing to do whatever. And the other guys see that from a guy that, again, is a superior player, but just an even better teammate, willing to do whatever he can to help his teammates out. And in the way he works, he's just a great leader.
When you look at his commitment, obviously going to North Carolina in-state school, Grimsley's you've had your fair share of talent there lately. What is it like to see? I mean, you want guys to succeed anywhere, but when they go in state, does it feel a little different for you? I know you're happy regardless of where they end up, but staying in state seems to be a thing.
Yeah, I mean, it's huge. And again, yeah, you're right. I want these guys to go wherever is best for them and their families. So, but to have the opportunity for him just to go an hour down the road to UNC is huge. And obviously we want to see him succeed. And I have no doubt that he will. It's just the kind of person he is, and he finds a way to get it done.
I was about to ask Don a question, and I don't want to keep you too long, but somebody in the chat asked, who is a close comparison for Alex, skill-wise, player-wise? You watch a lot of football. You've coached him.
Do you have one that you could think of? The guy.
No, you go ahead.
Guy that from UNC that pops in my head immediately is Gavin Blackwell, just because they're similar in they both have speed, but they're explosive. High energy guys, can dominate all three levels, that sort of thing. I did have a question for you. We've been hyping up Coach Lonnie Galloway. He's basically become one of North Carolina's best recruiters on the staff. Can you just talk about what does he do that makes him so successful? Because you kind of have a front row seat for Alex's recruitment.
Well, he does a great job of developing relationships with kids, and he can relate to them. And he can come in and speak to them. He's real comfortable around them, and Lonnie would be a great high school coach.
Yeah.
Because we're always trying to relate to our guys, and we got them from all different backgrounds, all different areas. And but he does a great job coming in and just being able to relate to the kid and develop that relationship right off the bat.
Okay. You have any more questions for Coach?
One more question, Coach. When you see a guy, just what's it like as a high school guy watching guys grow up and then going off? Is it similar to like seeing your child go off to college? I mean, what's that feeling like for you personally?
Yeah, it's very rewarding. It's why you do what you do. We get caught up in wins and all that kind of stuff. But just watching these kids develop, mature, become fine young men, and then go off and do great things, not just football-wise, but just in all areas. And a lot of our kids in our program have done that the last several years. And, today's a special day for Alex, but he'll be the first to talk about his teammates and how they helped him get to this day.
Indeed. Well, we appreciate you jumping on here. I know Don Callahan's been in around your school a lot lately. Appreciate you
Yeah.
taking the opportunity
I'm
to jump
surprised he
with
has a
us.
restraining order for me.
We're gonna get Don a Grimsley shirt or something up for you. Thank you guys. Appreciate it.
Thanks,
Yeah, we do
Coach.
appreciate it.
Thank you so much. Thank you. All right, I am back.
All right,
So
that's
what,
your first score of the day.
Yeah. So what do we? Maybe we can get some feedback from the chat. So we do have. It's going to take a little bit to get Alex, like I said, because for obvious reasons. But we do have Jordan, Shipp, is here. So is Keenan Jackson. Any interest in trying to get one of those guys on here?
Hey, it's all it. Look, we are here for the people. So if the people want to hear from them, I think it'd be pretty neat to hear from them.
I don't think it's going to go. We're worried about the tent.
I saw some young man helping y'all earlier. So
That young man, I think, was John.
No, it was somebody else back there in a different shirt hanging on. It reminded me of some of the Bowls Lot tailgating scenes we've seen over the years. I told you to grab the weights.
We should have. We do have weights, but they're not ideal. They're not like the tent weight stuff. So, all right. So what questions do we have?
Question in the chat: how does Taylor's recruiting rating compare to Andre Green Jr.'s?
Yeah, I would have to. I don't know. I know that they were ranked similarly. I think Green was ranked higher, but that's just me going off the top of my head. And I mean, really, I know no one wants to hear me say this, but it doesn't matter. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. I mean, if you want to know, I think that they both can be dynamic in this offense for North Carolina. I think we saw a little glimpse of that. Okay. All right. Well, whatever they want to do. Okay. So I can see Shipp coming and Jackson. Do you want? We can have. You both want to. So we only have two. Do you want?
Hold up. South Carolina, what's going on?
What's happening, fellas?
So use this
What's
for
going on?
So Tar Heel fans, checking
All
in.
right. You guys are live on live stream with Inside Carolina and 300 plus of your favorite North Carolina fans here.
Ooh, love to hear it.
Just what's the mood like there in Grimsley? I know you guys showing up for your buddy, but what's it like there?
Oh yes, sir. It's a great vibe, man.
It's great out here. Everybody, we loaded. We got the three of the best. We got the top three receivers in the Charlotte area, or North Carolina area. So when you get the top in-state people, that's all you need.
Feel great, man. Can't wait.
Yeah. So when you come and show out for your buddy, how well does Lonnie Galloway recruit? I mean, you got three guys. You mentioned Jordan, that you got three of the top ones in the state. I want each individual one of you guys to talk about Lonnie Galloway and his role in your recruitment there.
Nah, Galloway. I mean, Coach Galloway. He's the best. Can't say a bad thing about him. He's recruited me great. Never a bad moment I could think of, and he was 100% from start to finish. Was consistent with me from the beginning, and talking with me and Shipp talk a lot. Talk with other guys as well. They've kind of give me the same message. So, we all love him as a guy that you want to play for. Just put everything on the line for. So, can't wait. Excited.
Jordan, same question.
Yeah, piggyback off what he said. Like I said, he's been pretty consistent with me since freshman year, and he's always made me feel like I'm a big factor to the program, and he wants me to come make an impact early. And I feel like he's done the same thing with all of us. He wants us to come in, make a step, and help get to that natty.
So Keenan, why North Carolina?
It's home, man. I mean, I can't put any simpler than that. I mean, that's every visit I took. I mean, it just felt like the perfect place for me. I was going around the country, other places, trying to get that same feeling, but you just can't find it anywhere else. It's nothing like Chapel Hill. So, I mean, it was a no-brainer decision. Wanted to see everywhere, weigh out my options. But at the end of the day, playing for Coach Brown and the Tar Heels was no-brainer, easy decision for me.
Jordan, same question for you. We were here doing this with you a couple weeks ago, actually, less than a couple weeks ago.
Are we done at wide receiver?
No, we are not done. I promise y'all we are not done. There's two y'all don't know about that. We'll be 2 or 3.
You gave them a number. Why'd you do that?
Oh, man.
All right, you're answering the questions in the chat.
Man.
2-3.
Oh, man.
It's 2-3.
Jordan, tell me why North Carolina ended up winning out for you.
To be honest, it just felt like the best fit. Like our kids said, it's just home. You know, you hang around the school, you just get that gut feeling where you know it's just this is where you want to be. And like I said, I got a great group of guys that I already knew that was going to be coming to the school. I know people that's already been there, and I've heard a number of great things. And you know, Coach Galloway and Coach Brown, they take care of you after football as well. So I find that's another big thing, and that degree holds a lot of weight too. So some of the big things.
What Keenan, tell me about what about North Carolina's offense was a selling point. Obviously, Drake May is a big-time quarterback. You know, highly unlikely he's there when you guys are there, but the offense will stay the same. What sold you on that aspect?
You know, really just the just the consistency that you can see over the years, and the talent and numbers that's been produced recently since Coach Brown has been back with the guys we've seen go in the league. Diami. And all those guys have been going out with Dad. Yeah, Josh now, Green, Daz too. And then, Sam, he was, he played for the same 7-on-7 organization as us, Sam House, just seeing all those guys come through. And then, Drake May.
A lot of them did. Gavo, a lot of boys a lot of the skills that Champ right now played 7-on-7 with us, with the Stars.
Kind of from the same area as well. So, just seeing all the numbers that they put up, the big explosive, just passing offense, and as a North Carolina kid, seeing that, what else do you want?
Yeah. So before I let you guys go, what's next for you guys this summer? Just getting ready for high school ball, or what's going on? Tell the fans what you guys are up to the rest of the summer.
Just focusing up, with our high school teams now. Finished up this last senior season of high school. We never get this year back, so really just taking every day, day by day. I'm trying to get my first ring. They're trying to get 3 over there, so we're gonna be cheering on the Tar Heels as well. But that's it.
Well, we appreciate you guys taking time to jump on us. I heard y'all might be interviewing Alex here in a little bit for us.
Oh, yeah, we about to go. Once he finishes interviews, we'll go get him.
make sure we'll check it out later. Appreciate it, guys.
Great day to be a Tar Heel.
Yeah, all right. Appreciate it. Thanks, guys. So go, John. We'll have you guys do that. Okay. All right. So
Don, these guys are coming for our jobs, man.
Yeah. Well, I could not hear anything they said. So whatever was said, completely, I have no idea.
You will hear about it on the message boards. There was quite a little bit of foreshadowing going on there, perhaps, over the next few weeks.
Okay.
But yeah, they are big time kids. It's crazy the difference in players and recruits and all these days compared to like when we were little. We were just kids doing this stuff. These are they're grown already. So especially Keenan and Jordan, and now Alex Taylor. Don, a couple more questions here. Somebody asked, and everybody's asked, I wanted people to understand it just to make it clear. This in no way impacts Paylor's decision.
Correct.
They will gladly, or Javaris Green.
Or Javaris Green. No impact whatsoever. This, UNC will take those guys. This was something that was determined a while ago. And
So another question, and I asked them about it, how much the offense for North Carolina has to do with them wanting to play for North Carolina. And they cited former guys. They're well aware that Drake May's probably not there when they get there. But they talked about Josh Downs. They talked about, Sam Howell even, and 7-on-7 friends that they have, and Gavo Blackwell. How big a deal is it for these recruits to see their specific position group have success over everything in the recruiting process?
Yeah, I'm going to throw a little curveball. It matters, but I think what it ultimately comes to, let's be honest. Let's take off the UNC glasses for a second, and let's look all over college football and see all these big explosive offenses. They're all over the place. You know what I mean? You will, for every, couple, even like the G5 teams have some explosive offenses. Western Kentucky was unbelievable. It ultimately comes down to comfort, and you're ultimately going to, and really location. And even though a lot of kids say location doesn't matter, but statistically speaking, most kids end up going to a school that's within 6 hours, if not shorter than that. And that is related to the comfort level. You're going to be comfortable. The closer you are to your home, the more comfortable you're going to be. Now, it certainly does not hurt when Josh Downs gets drafted, especially when you will have the potential to play for Josh Downs as coach. So, that definitely helps. And when players are looking at player development, that's something you can lean on. But again, I mean, wide receivers are being drafted from a lot of different schools. So it comes down to comfort. It's just like anybody else when they're picking their colleges, and obviously you weigh certain things with education levels and all that sort of all those sort of things. But really, it's comfort.
Curtis Massenberg, and this is a question I wanted to get out there because we've talked about this a lot. Is Taylor good enough to start as a true freshman? I would say that is highly unlikely. Or is he a red shirt? And with the new rules, he's going to get some playing time, I would think.
Yeah. So he is good enough to start, but the odds are heavily against him to start. And we saw the same thing with Andre Green. And I can remember when this was back during my former wife and I's podcast, Ross Martin, and people would just grill me on the fact that I would say, there's a very good chance Andre Green does not start and hardly plays as a true freshman. And that's what happened, because statistically speaking, that's what happens. And so what I expect, we're still a year away, and we have to see what kind of happens this season, North Carolina wide receiver. But those who are on campus right now will have an edge on him for a lot of different reasons. And that's going to work against him. And, but it wouldn't surprise me if he gets on the field, very similar to what Andre Green.
You want to go get Alex?
Yeah.
I'll sit for a second.
John's going to talk to you guys.
Go get Alex for the live. All right, Tommy, are we still live?
We are still live. We're going to stay live. We're going to ride it out as long as we can. So we are right here. Look, I saw somebody else holding the tent, and it looks like the guys behind you might be holding the tent. Were you hanging onto the tent?
Tommy, let me tell you something. This is for our viewers. This is live television. This is what it's like. I was holding onto this tent for dear life. There was a chance this thing was going to go, and I don't know if we would have been welcome back in Greensboro, North Carolina, because it's a crowded area. I am very scared that the tent is going to go, but that's part of the fun. This is a live show. We've never done anything like this before at Inside Carolina. It's been awesome. I see 270 people here still watching this. So let us know in the chat if you're enjoying this content. We're going to try to get Alex Taylor to join the live show. That's our next guest that we're trying to get. So that's what's happening here in Greensboro, Tommy.
Those guys behind you are not going to let the tent go.
Okay, I'm a little worried. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm worried.
If the tent flies off with those big fellas back there, then y'all got more worries than a little wind.
Taylor he's taking one more picture, and then Don and Alex Taylor are going to join us live here on Inside Carolina. Let's go ahead and get rid of the picture here. We don't need this anymore. So we're just going to go to 2 box here because the battery's almost out of the camera anyways.
Yep, and I'm going to switch it to right there for our thing. As you see at the bottom, folks that are watching, if you joined us late, 2024 4-star receiver Alex Taylor commits to North Carolina. He's certainly obviously from Greensboro.
Here he comes. He's going to come live right here. Alex Taylor joining the show. So you're live right here.
What's going on, Alex?
What's up, man?
Good to see you. Good to see you. Just sort of describe the day. I know it's been hectic for you. How do you feel now that you finally made an announcement?
Excited to get to strictly focus on Grimsley football now, but also get to just go to home games this fall, which is super exciting to know that I have a home.
So a lot of people talk about Lonnie Galloway and his ability to recruit. Can you just sort of discuss how it was with him? I talked to Jordan, I talked to Keenan. They all speak highly of him. How was Lonnie in your recruitment?
Always kept it real with me, always looked at me as a priority in the 2024 class. Feel like I could do a lot of things in the offense, move around a lot, not just outside, but in the slot as well. And just looking at his background, he's got a lot of guys to the league, seen a lot of football in his lifetime. So I feel like make it to the league and make it to the next level with that.
Yeah, and that's another thing I ask them. How big is it to see guys, especially guys you know a little bit, have success at North Carolina in that offense?
It's super exciting seeing guys like Antoine Green, Josh Downs in recent years, seeing them get to the next level. Sorry. But definitely feel like I can be like one of them guys in the future.
So sort of describe your game for folks. Everybody always wants to know, you know, for old heads like me, it's like, who's he look like? Who's he play like? Just sort of describe your game for the folks.
Well, I'll say like a T. Higgins, no. Mike Williams made those 50-50 balls and the 80-20. And also make like little hitches into big games, 40-yard games and stuff like that. Leader on the field, getting guys in the right spot. And I also could play defense if you need me to as well.
Coach said you were doing the punting for Grimsley.
Oh, yep, I punt as well.
So you playing all the special teams, offense and defense. Alex, what would you say to North Carolina fans that maybe are excited at your commitment? What it means to be a Tar Heel?
I'm excited to be a Tar Heel.
Tell Don Callahan to get you something to drink.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on right now, but super excited to be a Tar Heel. Super excited to get to work with you guys. And well, I say I'm an early enrollee, so December, January area. Definitely see me at the bowl games and see me at the games this year. You know, say what's up to me, get a picture if you want to. Just excited to get to work being a Tar Heel. Super excited.
So definitely an early enrollee in January.
Yes, sir.
Well, man, we appreciate it. Congratulations on your commitment. I know it's been a hectic day, but appreciate you taking time to talk to Inside Carolina.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Yeah. Tell Don to get you a drink.
Yes, sir. I got you. Yeah, I knew one. Thank you.
All right, Tommy, you're back with me. Can you hear me?
Yep, can hear you. Appreciate y'all making that happen. I didn't want to keep him too long. I know he's busy. I know he's got a lot of responsibilities and a lot of hecticness going on. Somebody asked, why do these high school kids, and this is something Don can certainly talk about too, is why do these high school players have these big productions? Why don't they just commit privately?
Mm-hmm.
Because it's a big deal. It's a big deal for the community at hand. It's a big deal for the player. And it's a big deal for the family. You see, and John, you spoke to it, several hundred people out there to support him. And so you've been around these recruitments enough to know, you followed Don around enough to know it's a big deal. And it's time for people, you know, I like that he just picked up a hat. He didn't do any of the stuff. But I'm
worried about the tent, Tommy. I'm sorry. You might have to end the stream here soon. But yeah, this has been a really exciting event here in Greensboro.
Well, we've been going. Tell Don. Well, I will sign it off. So what we're going to do, we're going an hour. You can watch this. If you have not seen it all, it'll be on the Inside Carolina YouTube channel. Alex Taylor, 4-star wide receiver from Greensboro, Grimsley, commits to North Carolina. Did so about an hour ago. Picked up one hat, said he was a North Carolina Tar Heel. Don and John on scene at Grimsley. We've been streaming this live. It's time to get out of there.